Alrighty. Let's see. Let me get them set up centered. There we go. Almost. Boom. All right. Today I'm smoking the H Oven 1844 in Yeho. One of my favorites lately. I really like this cigar. It's Cubanesque, if you will. Lots to talk about. I haven't been on it a while, and I have a bunch of lessons I got to do. I've just been so busy doing the AM station thing, starting out new songs for that, and then teaching an awful lot. And so the teaching has kind of been, the teaching has been super busy. Why is this thing floating away? Oh, there we go. Teaching has been super busy. You can barely hear me. Hold on, let me try this. Is that better? I think I got to get a new phone. Is that any better on the audio? Hmm. I don't know what it is. Can anybody hear me? 3 people there? I got to get a new phone. I think this mic has fucking had it. Anyway, I've been teaching a lot more, so it's like it burns me out to then go teach on YouTube just because I've been teaching so much. And it's all over the place. Some with electric where I'm going over like solos and stuff like that, and then some with the acoustic where I'm just doing songs, kind of like the way my channel runs. So it's been super hectic. I hope you guys can hear me. If you can't, what are we doing? Anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on. I hope you guys can hear me. Doesn't seem like it's that windy. That would be affecting it. It's probably my shitty phone. It's like 3 years old or 4 years old. I got to get a new one. Hello, right back at you. Hello to Chicago. So yeah, so I will be doing a lot more lessons as we go, as I go. I just have to find the time and the concern because, like I said, I've been doing like a lot of charts. So the songs that I could do and the songs that I want to do, it's just getting to it. When I'm in that room, that red room, I'm usually charting music for AM station for new songs that we're doing. So, and of course, I could be like, all right, now that I charted it, I should just teach it, but I haven't been. Just because I feel so busy. And then at night, like during the week, I get to hang out with Joe and my brother. Joe's been streaming his Fortnite games, so we go on there and, Joe will sometimes do the lists with me on the show, on his YouTube stream. I think Hannah Bomb was there, Hanoi Bomb. And so it's been pretty good. We have fun. And, I get to play with my brother and hang out with my brother. Hey, welcome. What part of Boston are you in? I'll be playing live tonight in Plymouth from 8:30 to 11:30 at Martini's. If you're in the area, if anyone's in the Boston area, we play there every Saturday night. It's a lot of fun. We play every Friday night at the Whitman location, but the Plymouth location is a little bit crazier. I mean, it's just, we've been playing there for a few years now, and it's just packed every Saturday. It's like a zoo, which is super fun. And because of that, we've been throwing in like a lot more dance songs. Oh, Westboro, okay. You're from Dottie. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine in Dorchester. He's right off Westmoreland behind like the Erie pub. I forget what you call that square there. Thanks, man. Yeah, Westboro is a little bit of a hike. It's up on the I was going to say the 405, up 495 there. Adams Quarter, exactly. Yeah, that's where my buddy's at. And the funny thing is, he's originally from Northborough, but he's in Dorchester, been there since probably the last, shit, 50 years, 40 years. But anyway, so, and I was also, I have like a lot of students too that have been going back and watching my chord therapy lessons, which I never even look at those, so I don't even know what kind of traction they've gotten, if they get any views on YouTube. Um, if they do, that's cool. But I teach a lot of like lead playing. Like when I teach lead guitar playing, I try to get them out of playing thinking of shapes and playing much more chords like triads or two triads over a change. And it really becomes fun because then when you want to change to something like jazzy, I mean, you could just pull two triads out of the melodic minor scale and have at it. It sounds fantastic. Like the two diminished triads in the melodic minor. So it's a lot of fun. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing. A lot of people message me and they're like, "Where have you been? I hope you're still making videos." I will make videos. I have no intention of stopping. I just took a break just because, I got a lot going on here as far as, taking care of my mom, and teaching a lot, and it's been good. Things are great. It couldn't be better. People, it's funny. The less I've been on, the more comments and views I've been getting on all my older videos, which is great. But I've been getting slammed with comments like every day, just tons of them, which is awesome. But tonight, going to see Widespread Panic. Oh, cool, very cool. I'll tell you what's a good show coming up in October at the Vault. I'm gonna go down there with some buddies, and we're gonna go see Zebra. It's the 50th anniversary, I think it is, of Zebra or something like that. And oh yeah, I know who Widespread Panic is. And so that Zebra show will be awesome. I'm looking forward to Zebra. For the cigar smokers in my chat, I'll tell you right now, this 1844 H. Upman and Yeho is really good. Really digging it. Um, Great. I haven't smoked a pipe in probably months just because it's really like a cold weather thing, so I can get a shorter smoke in, like a 20, 30-minute smoke. But I just saw that Savinelli released a limited pipe, so I had to order it, and I got it. It's great. Will I ever smoke it? We'll see. As far as gear goes, I haven't really bought anything. In fact, I've been downsizing because I really just play Strats and Tellies. And there's no reason to have so many. Um, and I just don't like picking up a stock instrument. I don't care. I just don't give a shit anymore about gear. I mean, I will eventually, probably before the end of the year, picking up a vintage sound amplifier because I'd like to get rid of about 3 or 4 of my amps. And to me, that's one to have. I mean, it's basically like a vibra verb with a 15-inch speaker. If I need something dirty, I can put a pedal through it, but it's that big, glassy, clean sound I like. Oh yeah, you get your SG. I don't have a SGs. I don't really care for short scale. My fingers are too fat when it gets up to the like 15th fret. I'm like, I feel like I'm playing it. I don't know. It's just too narrow for me up there. I like a longer scale in. But anyway, so um, yeah, a buddy of mine who plays drums in a band messaged me. He wanted me to come to an open jam, and I effing hate open jams with a passion. But I went because he's a friend, and I was off. I didn't have anything to do. Um, my sister was here watching my mom, so I was like, all right, I'm going to run out for the day. And just like I thought, I hated it. It's, you know, blues changes to me. I mean, I don't like blues really. I dislike it mostly. Unless it's something more. Like, of course, I love Robin Ford and Larry Carlton's blues. Something that has really nice harmony and changes into the chords, you know, uh, where there's some altered chords and it sounds beautiful. But where it's just a straight 1 4 5 using all sevens, boring, put me to sleep, uninspiring. I hated it. Anyway, so that's just me. Like, I'll be the first one to tell you, like, when people say, "Oh, BB King," yeah, I never cared. Boring, boring to me beyond a shadow of anything. Just doesn't. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Changes do nothing for me. The playing does nothing for me. But so I went to that recently. And if you guys don't follow Joe, what is he? Electra Omega on YouTube. He goes live like nightly playing Fortnite. But it's funny because the conversations we feel of it might be entertaining. Yeah, 1 4 5 is just it's abysmal. It's abysmal. So this is an H. Upman 1844 in Yeho. Excellent, excellent cigar. This, like I said, it's very Cuban-esque. There's something about a Cuban cigar. You know, people sit there and say they're not the best. They may not be. I mean, there are some obviously I like more, but Cubans are awesome. Especially they have like a, you know, they're aged and they have just a nice, great flavor to it. There's a website called Should I Smoke This, and he's also got a YouTube page, and he sells Sanj Patel cigars. Sanj makes some great cigars. He's got a shop out in New Jersey, but they make great cigars. In fact, the SP 1014 Black is definitely worth checking out. And right now they're selling ones that have been aged for 30 years, and both are just as good, but they're very good, really good. So I got a gig tonight. What else is going on? That's just it. It's just like I said, I've just been too busy with things outside of YouTube that I haven't really done it. And I know I got to get back and start doing more lessons. Maple Leaf Bar in New Orleans. I missed what it said. This fucking thing. Here it is. Live chat. Oh, live chat. Oh. Maple Leaf Bar in New Orleans has great music. Okay. Hmm. Got some overcast going on. Sun's coming out again though. Here it comes. So yeah, so and people keep asking about the DL show. Am I gonna bring it back? I don't know. I'm enjoying not doing it. It was, coming out of COVID and everything like that. It was fun, but now life goes on, and I just, you know, it wasn't growing the way I would expect it to grow or what I wanted it to be. And, you're just dealing with 30, 40 people. More people would rather watch Zim restring a guitar than people talk about music. And, I mean, it's just different strokes for different folks. I don't understand it because I don't ever watch anybody's videos when they restring guitars or clean up guitars. I find that extremely boring. But I mean, I think Zim's a great guy, and I wish the channel has. I mean, he's doing great. I always wish him the best. But that's not content I would watch or understand. But so when the DL show wasn't really doing that great, I was like, yeah, well, I'm putting too much work into it for the reward, and the lessons do a lot better. I mean, that's why I stopped that whole series about albums that I think are overlooked. And it's funny because now it's getting traction. Now people are watching them, but when I was doing them, nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit. Rick Beato, does what makes a song great, and it's like, well, that's easy in hindsight. I found my content, was trying to show you music that you may have never heard, and you could go out and find new music that's great. And some people like it, some people don't. Some people don't want to hear my taste in music, and that's fine. I don't want to hear theirs either. So I get it. But, if someone says, there's a lot of times when people say, you've got to check out this record. And I would say most times I'm like, yeah, I know why I didn't listen to this. I don't like it. And then once in a great while, which happened, somebody turned me on to the Laura Nyro record, Gonna Take a Miracle. And I was very skeptical. I was like, I'm not going to like it. And I end up loving it. It's one of my all-time favorite records. It's fantastic. And so I'm always open to listening to it because in the great chance that it's the one album that I end up liking, that's worth listening to something that I don't. But anyway, so I thought that overlooked records, the overlooked albums, should have been more popular. But, here's what it is. Which isn't much. But yeah, so eventually, like I said, I'll do some more lessons, and I might do some more chord therapy lessons where we go over chord changes and how to solo over stuff using using chord knowledge. There's a great guy, Marvin Music. I don't know if anyone's watched this channel. He's one of the few music channels that I actually really like. And I like it because he calls out bullshit. And he's a great player. He's a fantastic player. But he calls out like the Berkeley alumni and the Berkeley teachers, and it's like, I mean, just to say this, I have several students that went to Berkeley that graduated, and they don't understand music, and I don't understand how they went to school and still don't understand it. Can't communicate it, can't really facilitate it, can play and can imitate and play things they've learned, but really struggle with understanding what's going on in a song or how to approach it and not be like a blind man with a walking stick. And so I relate a lot to Marvin Music. He's a far more jazzy guy than I am. I don't really care for jazz. I'm more of a rock player. Like I like, but I also do love, I would call it the Steely Dan form of jazz, which to me isn't really jazz, but it's more like a taste of jazz. It's really like jazz harmony put into pop or rock songs. That I like much more. As far as listening, like I could listen to Coltrane all day. I love it. But as far as like when I go to play, it doesn't move me to play. It's not like other things that I like. But Marvin music is great when it comes to that because he totally, owns what he says, uh, understands music, understands the the simplicity of it, and is trying to convey that into what he does, which I appreciate. I think he's great. I always enjoy his videos. I mean, a lot of times I don't get through them because I'm like, yeah, I already do that, but I like to see somebody showing somebody that, and I think he's funny as hell. I think his take on things is spot on. You know, I mean, there are guys. If you're watching a guy play and you're like, wow, what is he doing? I have no idea. I mean, to me, I would approach the person and be like, hey, I want to take a lesson. I'm just curious what they're doing, how they're looking at it. Doesn't matter how good or great you think you are, you should always be looking up to people that play in a higher pay grade. And so to me that's important. You should. So I'll watch guys that mostly the stuff I'm watching on YouTube, if it's music related, it's guys playing piano. Open Source is a great, no, Open Studio is a great channel, and I love those guys' approach on jazz. Um, I think it's great. I think what they talk about is great. Their little clips are great. So I like those guys. But yeah, as far as guitar content, I don't know if I'm watching anything else other than, and like Marvin, I watch when it comes in my feed, but I'm not really watching it. Or I'm not really looking for it. But if it shows up in the title, interests me. Um, some guys just make the same old content that they're reviewing guitars. What do I give a shit what you think about a guitar? What do I care? I don't. Let's be honest. I don't give two shits. Oh, this guitar feels good. Okay, what feels good to you? I don't know. I go to a store, I pick up a guitar, I think they all feel like crap. I always feel like the necks are too thin, frets are shitty. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, these guys, they just review guitars all day. Like, wow. Oh, is this the final be all pedal? Every pedal sounds the fucking same in some way. Who gives a shit? Play something that somebody wants to hear. You know what I mean? I mean, and I don't mean any harm on them or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, when a guy's sitting there, he's picking up blues licks and he's showing me a pedal, I don't give a shit. Sorry. Oh, is that what pentatonic minor sounds like with that pedal? Ah, just take the pedal and smash me in the head with it. Christ. Oh, this pedal sounds just as good as a Klon. I think a Klon sounds like shit. Congratulations, you paid $5 grand for a shitty pedal. I don't care for the Klon. It sounds good sometimes in certain amps, and most of the amps, I think it's just, I don't like it. I know when he made it, he was trying to like do something other than the tube screamer. I think the tube screamer is better. An 808 is better, in my opinion. But again, what am I going to sit there and go, here's a new 808, I don't care. I just don't give a shit. I just like teaching songs. I think songs, because if you learn songs and you're learning like the harmony in the songs and the chords, maybe down the road somebody will write some new music and they'll use harmony again like they did in the 70s. Because today it's all fucking triads. It's sad. Somebody asked me last night, do you guys do any country? I go, yeah, we do good country. None of that bro country shit at 1645 or 165, whatever the hell they're playing. It's awful. Awful. But as you all are well aware, I'm a huge Steve Wariner fan. I love George Strait. I love George Jones. I love all the Georges in country. I love George Canyon. If their name is George and they're playing country, I'm in. How stupid is that? I got 5 people watching. What have you hit the like button for me, will you? Christ. What do I got to do? Tap dance? Anyway, got my gig tonight. Hey, there we go. Got my gig tonight, so that'll be fun. It's like I said, it's always a blast. I charted out "Ain't No Woman" by the Four Tops to do tonight. I'm trying to bring in some more R&B stuff to what we do. Um, so I would love to do "Love TKO." I don't know if Jimmy's got it in him, but yeah, it should be a fun gig. What else is going on? Let me try to think. 'Cause it's really not. I mean, it's just the same old shit. Teaching a lot and doing my gigs on the weekend. Still doing carnivore. That's for life. I'll never change. My weight is like 185 still, 183, 31-inch waist. I feel fantastic. Unbelievable. I'm out of the matrix as far as I'm concerned, as far as that goes. You know, I've been watching these videos about these Egyptian vases, and they made these vases and this, out of like granite. And so this company went in and they went and laser measured everything, and they're like, these things, they're so accurate and so perfect. They know they couldn't be made by hand. No way in hell they made by hand. In fact, if we try to make it by machine today, we couldn't make it as accurate as they made it. So it's absolutely insane. And one of the guys was like, the only way this could be made is, number one, using a computer and a machine that can cut it. And we don't have that yet. We have the computer, we have machines that can cut rock, but not to the accuracy that these guys did it in. So clearly, another civilization that got probably wiped out built, made them. And they think they were made before the Younger Dryas. But it's really interesting stuff. I've been watching a lot of it, especially like with the pyramids. If you think the Egyptians built the pyramids, you've got to be smoking crack. There's a great interview with Robert Schoch, who's the head of Boston University, and he says that his buddy called him up, I think it was like 1990, could have been 80, I think it was 90, and he said, hey, I want you to come to Egypt with me. I'm going to prove that the Sphinx is 1,000 years older than we think it is. And he was like, all right, yeah, sure it is. He's like, I'll go. And he went and he was back there and he goes, this is like 8,000 years older at least. And so, and I don't know if you guys know anything about the Sahara Desert, where that used to be covered with water and life and trees, and something happened which changed the whole climate on the earth and made it a desert. And they know that in Egypt, where Egypt is now, like 8,000 years before the Egyptians got there, it was like a rainy climate, and that's how they could tell from all the rainfall and the water that was on the Sphinx, all the damage, and the pyramids. But it's just nuts. I dropped the ash all over myself. Oh, I lost the cherry. There we go. But yeah, so anyway, it's really interesting. If you guys get a chance, look up the Egyptian vases. It's ridiculous. And then, you have the Egyptians like, oh, our hieroglyphics are all over it. We built it. Listen, if somebody fucking spray painted 100-year-old bridge, that doesn't mean they built the bridge. You know what I mean? The pyramids and the sarcophagus and the vases are made with absolute precision. That's beyond anything we can do. And then you see the hieroglyphics are scratched in, but look, it'd be like a fucking crayon writing over the Mona Lisa and then saying that Da Vinci used the crayon. Yeah, right. That was Da Vinci's crayon. It's just absurd. But it's really interesting stuff. That's what I've been watching mainly. Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock. Awesome stuff to watch. Just makes you think. Like we don't know. We do not know anything. Anything. Whether it's the stars and the planets, whatever. I watch these guys talk about stuff, and then they sent out a telescope, and it's like, well, we were wrong about something. We're just not sure what we're wrong about. Yeah, everything. We don't know a fucking thing. They teach things, but that doesn't mean we know any. I mean, just look at medicine. Everybody in medicine, people are getting sicker and sicker, and everyone's like, oh, you got to listen to your doctor. Listen to your doctor. I would do whatever the fucking opposite that shitbag says, because they've just been getting people sicker. Dave, you need to eat vegetables. Really? How will I get the wheelchair in? Thank you very much. No, I mean, they sit there, oh, you need to eat vegetables. Well, what did they eat 4,000 years before that? And the oldest bones I think they've picked up were 160,000 years old. So for 156,000 years, people didn't eat vegetables. And 4,000 years ago, they started making them. I mean, they're not in nature. Like, don't think vegetables are natural. They're not. They've been manipulated so you can eat them, because if you see them in the form that they were found, like corn, and how it's found in nature, unedible. So it's all been man-made. And it's nuts. We don't know anything. Yeah, I think it's just, we live in a very stupid world. Sad. Anywho, what else is going on? You guys don't want to hear me rant about being out of the Matrix, do you? I also been watching speaking of the Matrix, I've been watching a lot of scientific theories about uh, simulation theory. Super interesting. And again, it's just something that you can postulate on. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. We just can factor what the odds are. And the odds are great. But, I wouldn't go teaching it as fact the way they teach facts about everything else, which is not fact. You couldn't convince me we came from apes. Couldn't convince me. There's not any, I don't believe in evolution. I don't believe that you're going to have a bacteria form into everything that's been formed on this earth. I'm not buying it. And if you look at it and you study it, if you watch, in fact, you can go watch any of Dennis Noble's speeches. And Dennis Noble is the professor at Oxford who's like 80-something years old, who's been teaching it for 60-something years. And he's done more studies than anybody, and he's just like, it ain't there. Like, there's no, we are adaptive, sure. If, people that live in a colder climate, people that live in a warmer climate, over time, certain things will change and their skin might get lighter, but they're not going to change digestive systems. They're not going to change the brain. It's not going to change anything major to make them a different organism. And when you look at DNA and how it's a code and how that code works, that would be like saying that it can mutate and turn into something else. So I could have Microsoft Word, and when it corrupts, it's going to become Microsoft Excel. Yeah, it ain't happening. I hate to break it to you. It's not going to happen. Can it corrupt? Yes. It could get a virus. It could corrupt the system and become not, healthy. That happens. But it doesn't change into something else. I had Microsoft Word, and I loaded up a program, and now Microsoft Word is Photoshop. I mean, that's the absurdity. I mean, that's how I look at it. It's like the actual. I mean, it is. If you look at DNA, it is a code. And then some people are like, "Oh, well, where our DNA is like so, all the DNA is really close together." Well, yeah, it sounds like a program to me. If it's code, every code is going to be similar to a certain point before you have to, you know. You can look at that as every song. Every song is the fucking same. You're only dealing with seven notes in a key, or 12 notes in total. How much variation are you going to have? Anyways, I'm out of the matrix. I'm out. I'm free. My one vice is I'll drink like diet soda. Actually, today I'm drinking Polar Seltzer. It's just a flavored seltzer, but like I'll drink diet soda, and people will be like, "Oh, you're better off having real soda. Real soda. The sugar's better for you than the chemical." What sugar? You're drinking fucking corn syrup. You think that's fucking natural? Oh yeah, that's just a natural process. High fructose corn syrup. You know what that's doing to your fucking liver? Give me a fucking break. They're both terrible for you. But one isn't causing a fucking huge insulin rush into your blood. Give me a break. Anywho, cloudy again. Anyways, that's just some of my thoughts. If anyone has any questions about any music stuff I'm doing or anything, feel free to ask. Or about anything. I don't care. I'm an open book. You guys know that. Hmm, this is a good cigar. I'm telling you right now, this is crawling up to my top three. I just think it's a great cigar. I had another great cigar this morning. I had a lot with my coffee. I had a La Aurora 107. Excellent. Excellent. And I think the La Aurora 1962 Corojo is excellent. I mean, I think that's a better cigar than the 107, but the 1962 Corojo is fantastic. I used to like really heavy cigars, but now I find, and I don't know if it's because I'm not aging them, and I probably should, but then again, what am I going to do? I'm smoking them, so I just feel that they're one note. You know what I mean? It's like a one note flavor, and it stopped being enjoyable for me. The super heavy cigars, um, except for like which I can't find anymore. The Todos Las Dias from Dunbarton. But most of these, like the Oliva V's, I used to love the Oliva V's. I feel like it's one note now. It's just, boom, it's strong, but not interesting, not enjoyable, not satisfying. Like I smoke it and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till I'm done with this. So I found some more medium to full, something like this is far more, or the Sanj Patel SP 1014 Black, excellent. Excellent. So much stuff going on. It's not one note. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and it's just good. And not terribly expensive. I think you can get like When you order a 5-pack, it's like $10 a stick. That's not bad. You can get these on Cigar Page on sale. Sometimes they're like $5, sometimes they're $10. Just depend. I get them when they're on sale. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if anyone's talking. Let me see what the live chat says. Watched beginnings lesson last week. Then subs on Chicago Orchards in New Hampshire last month. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we do beginnings in my band. And so I thought it would be a good lesson to teach. I'm sorry I didn't see that. But yeah, beginnings is a great tune. We also do sometimes, If You Leave Me Now, which I think I did a lesson on. I may have. One Can't Be Too Sure. I think I did. It's been a while. Oh, Chicago's awesome. I mean, Terry Katz is one of those players that's like so underrated, under the radar. Hey, Wheat, what's going on? Sean, right? I'm good. I'm good, very good. Just enjoying a day in the 80s. Before today, though, like the whole last week was in the 60s. It was fucking brutal. I felt like it was Halloween weather. I was like, what the hell, in August? But uh, but yeah, Terry Katz is one of those underrated players. He's just great, And it's like what I find obnoxious is that, like, if you go on YouTube and someone's talking about Terry Katz, all they say is Hendrix said he was better. Who gives a fuck what Hendrix said? Who cares? Go to the fucking music and break down what he did. He's a great player. You know? Oh, Hendrix said what Hendrix said. Hendrix was on drugs. I don't give two shits what Hendrix said. He's a great player. Hendrix was great. Band of Gypsies to me is one of the best fucking, introductions to that Univibe sound. That fucking. But if you want to hear the best Hendrix Univibe album, I've said it once. I'll say it 100 times. It's Bridge of Sighs by Robin Trower. That's when you take that sound and you write songs that actually anybody gives a shit about. People talk about like Hendrix versus Van Halen, and I'm like, yeah, I think they were both important players, but Van Halen far more, because Van Halen put it into the context of listenable songs. Hendrix was listened. Now, there was some okay stuff, but overall, like Foxy Lady and Purple Haze are fucking abysmal. Awful. Stone Free. I mean, they just, I don't know. Oh, absolutely. I mean, watch the Tanglewood show. He's a monster. So you can find the whole show on YouTube. But Terry's a monster at Tanglewood. I mean, he's just ripping it up, and he's great. Great feel, great technique, everything. Just great. Yeah, every time we do beginnings live, the percussionist Kenny always looks at me and goes, Terry? Because that's how it starts at the Tanglewood show. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, Kath was an awesome player. Just awesome. I mean, I don't think people understand the point when I do my lessons. Like, some people will message me, that's not the way they play it on the record. No shit. I'm playing it on an acoustic to show you how you can play it, to make it sound with all the harmony that's going on in the song with the other instruments, how to make it sound like it's like you got the tune down. Not to sit there and show you one little part in a 5-piece band. It's like, you fucking morons. That isn't the right chord. Yes, he's playing a G, but the bass is playing an A, so I'm showing it to you as an A11 or a G over A. Yeah, I get it. You don't get it, but I get it. It's unreal. Yeah, it's a perfect record. It's really, really good. He hit that out of the park. You know what's amazing is I was watching some video on Led Zeppelin, and the guy kept saying like, "Oh, it's kind of like this song by Deep Purple," and they kept comparing him to Deep Purple, and I'm like, I don't think that they were even listening to Deep Purple or even cared. And you can hear it clearly from other influences that Zeppelin pulled it from more than Deep Purple. I'm not a Deep Purple fan. I think they're okay. I watched the guy do a video on why Who Do We Think We Are is a really underrated record, but it's not as good as uh, Machine Head, and I'll disagree. I think it's better than Machine Head. I like it. I think the songs are way better. I think it's a less bloated album. It's the songs are more to the point. They're better songs. Uh, so I don't get it. I don't get the Deep Purple thing. And I even think like, what's that 84, 85 record? Perfect Strangers. The two hits on the record I can't even listen to anymore. Krellbar and Joe. Like I said, Joe goes live every night. Like he'll probably be live tonight. I won't be on the show, but Joe does a live Fortnite thing. And when I come on the show, he always, he'll do lists with me. Burn album is their best studio, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know if I think Burn is as good as Who Do We Think We Are. It's very fun. I think Burn is better than Machine Head, though. I don't know if it's as good as Who Do We Think We Are. At least not for me, but again, uh, that's a better argument for me. Like, I appreciate that argument. Whereas Machine Head, I just feel like, well, it had three big hits. The other stuff is okay, but like Lazy is just a blues thing, and it's not very original. I don't really care for it. I think Stormbringer is terribly underrated. In fact, let's put them together. Machine Head and Who Do We Think We Are versus Burn and Stormbringer. That'd be a good. I'd like to see that discussion. I'll say this: the first three Rainbow records are better than Deep Purple's discography. You love Black Knight? Yeah, but what album is Black Knight on? Is it Black Knight on? Is that Fireball or In Rock? What album is Black Knight on? It's either Fireball or In Rock. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Procol Harum was okay. I mean, I don't think Trowell wasn't in the band. I don't think on Whiter Shade of Pale. I think he came in after that on Conquistador and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's on In Rock too. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I think Fireball was like the only standout hit on Fireball, which I think is a great song. Fireball reminds me of Bad Company, Burning Sky. The album's good for one tune. I mean, Burning Sky is such a great song. I think the rest of that album is garbage. Child in Time. Yeah, I'm not a fan. All that screaming. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. But I mean, again, I understand. Like total. I mean, we're talking about opinions here, and people like what they like. I was never a fan of Child in Time that much. Again, songs like Smooth Dancer, Black Suede, Super Troop is great. Mary Long. I love everything on Rat Bat Blue. I love everything on Who Do We Think We Are. In fact, I think one of the weakest songs on it is Woman from Tokyo, and that's a fantastic song. I mean, if you want to have an argument about Blackmore, Woman from Tokyo shows what a great writer he was for that for that style. I think it's super clever and just great. And again, not one of my favorites on the album, but better than most of their stuff. And that's just me. I think Blackmore's a great guitar player. I just I don't care for it that much. Like when he solos, I find it weird, and he's great. Don't get me wrong, he's a great player. It just he's playing. I mean, it's the same thing when people say they think Van Halen's a great player, but this playing doesn't do anything for them. I understand it because I'm that way when it comes to Blackmore. Like I think he's a great player. I just don't get it. It doesn't do it for me. And you know, when you watch him, I'll see stuff and I'm like, oh, that's where Yngwie picked it up. But when Yngwie plays, I get it. Like to me, it's like, you know, and not to praise Yngwie because I think he's a phenomenal player who put out one album. I think that Alcatraz album is it for me. After that, everything else is superfluous. It doesn't mean it's just the same shit over and over again. But that first Alcatraz album, I'll put up with anything as far as songs and playing. In fact, I think if you took Graham Bonnet's three big albums, what the hell's the name of that Rainbow album with Lost in Hollywood? I can't even think of the name of that album. What the hell the name of that? Oh, that's great. Johnny, thank you. You're fucking hilarious. Now, what was I just saying? Oh, yeah, what was the name of that Deep Purple album? 79. I mean, not Deep Purple, Rainbow. 79. I can see the cover. But anyways, you take that album, you take Michael Schenker Group, Assault Attack, and Alcatraz, No Parole from Rock and Roll. And I put Alcatraz first, Michael Schenker Group second, Rainbow last. Why the hell am I blanking on the name of that album? Anybody? The Graham Bonnet album with Rainbow that has Lost in Hollywood, Since You've Been Gone. What the hell is the name of that? Downs? What the? Did it have the word down in it? What the hell is the name of that record? Why am I blanking? I think Lost in Hollywood is the best song on that album. Oh, Paul Rogers. I mean, I think the Bad Company 80s Bad Company with Brian Howe was good. I don't think it was important. I do think Bad Company was important. In fact, I'll say Bad Company's 1979 album, which was towards the end of their career, Desolation Angels, I would argue could be better than the first album. Could be. I'd have to debate it with myself for a while. But side one of Desolation Angels blows away any side of any album Bad Company ever did. That record is fantastic. Side two is where it loses a little favor, where it could get beat out by the first album, because side one of Bad Company's first album is strong, and the second side is strong. Side one of Desolation Angels is stronger, but side two is weaker. And I thought Run with the Pack had some potential, but it's not great. There's some great songs on it, but it's not great. I'm still trying to think of what that Rainbow record's called. You got Rainbow, Blackmore's Rainbow, Rising, Long Live Rock and Roll, Down to Earth. Thank you. God, I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's the least favorite of the Graham Bonnet records. For me, anyways. Whatever that means, whatever water that holds. Somebody tell me what time it is. I tell you, so things I haven't talked about. Black Sabbath did the final show, and Ozzy did the final show, and Ozzy passed, obviously, rest his soul. Well, let's talk about what a dick he was. Why the fuck was Jakey Lee not playing with Ozzy? He had Zach playing, and Jakey Lee's alive, and Jakey Lee did two great albums with him. He should have been playing with Ozzy. He should have been invited to play with Ozzy, not to play with Nuno Betancourt and those turds. Sorry. I find it to be just a not giving a shit about the fans. I'm trying to look at the time. A quarter past. Quarter past, okay. You know what I mean? He should have had Jakey Lee play with him. I find it to be like just a douche move. Yeah. Yeah, Russ Ballard's awesome. I mean, he wrote Since You've Been Gone, he wrote I Surrender. He he's great. He wrote Free Me for Roger Daltrey, Back in the New York Groove with Ace Frehley. Well, he wrote it not for Ace Frehley, but he wrote it for another band, and Ace Frehley covered it. Winning by Santana. Russ Ballard's a great writer. I love his '80s solo hit, Voices. I think that was a great song. Voices, I hear voices. Don't look back. Oh, fantastic. Great stuff. That is some weird, wacky stuff. Yeah, I know the volume sucks. I got to get a new phone before I go live again. Billy Idol and Joan Jett at Great Woods, yeah, not a show I'd go to. Although I love Steve Stevens. I think Billy's good. Seeing Joan Jett to me would be like torture, torture to me. Not a fan. Recently, I saw an interview with Suzanne Summers. It was an older interview, but saying that she had heard that John Ritter was a womanizer, and she was like, I never had any problem, issues with him, but I guess Joyce DeWitt and him fooled around. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're on Three's Company with Janet and Chrissy, and you banged Janet? That's like saying I banged one of the Runaways. Oh, really? Which one? Joan Jett. Christ. Good for you. Jesus. California's venue the Sphere. Is the Sphere in California or Vegas? I thought it was in Vegas. Am I wrong? Yeah, Vegas. Yeah. My brother's been. Both brothers have been. They said it's awesome. They loved it. I haven't been yet. I'd love to take a trip out there maybe this fall. We'll see. Could be in the cards. Yeah, and I got a buddy of mine in Vegas that went to a show too. I think he went and saw the Eagles there at the Sphere. I also saw, since I don't get a chance to talk on here much, I saw that Kiss is going to do the Kennedy Center honors, and people are like, I saw somebody rant about that Bruce Kulick should have been invited, and it's like, are you kidding me? If you just took Kiss in the '80s, they're no different to me than Poison. I'm sorry, I don't give two shits. What mattered was the original band and the first three albums and that Kiss Alive record. After that, I'm done anyways. But still, that's what made the band. The innovative, the four guys dressed as monsters playing heavy rock. That's what was cool about Kiss. Tears are falling, heaven's on fire. Please, pass. Bruce Kulick played with them for 13 years. They were terrible. Who cares? I think Bruce is a good player, but it doesn't matter. I don't think that band meant anything in the '80s. They were Bon Jovi light. How sad is that? You could show me any Kiss live with Bruce Kulick. I'd rather hear the original band play Shandy. That miserable song. And I know it wasn't the original band, it was Anton Fig on drums. I'm just saying. It came on the record that they were still trying to sell that it was Peter Criss. Oh, Wizard of Oz could be cool. Don't they have those theaters? I think there's a theater in LA that does that. It's like the 360, where it's like the whole thing. They show the movie, but yet the rest of the movie is around you. I don't know. My brother was trying to explain it to me. He said he saw them. I think it was The Matrix there. Said it was fantastic. Oh, oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, when they do all that studio fixing on the live albums, I don't really care. Because I don't think of much of live albums anyways. There's only a few live albums that I think matter. And Kiss happens to be one of them because I think a lot of the songs on Alive 2 are much better live than the studio versions, whereas I don't think I'd agree so much maybe on the first Alive, although some of the songs are better on Alive, but some of them are better in the studio. Yeah, it's a little windy. Everyone knows it's windy. Yeah, I tell you, when it comes to Kiss, and I've said it before, I think Destroyer is the worst of the first six studio albums. To me, Destroyer is absolutely the worst. And I don't know why when people do lists and they're like, here's my top Kiss albums, and they put Destroyer 1. I'm like, are you a Kiss fan? Fucking Beth, Great Expectations, Do You Love Me? Those songs are horrible. In fact, I think the only song on that album that I can listen to without wincing is Sweet Pain. The rest of the album I find obnoxious. I think it's just bad. I think Rock and Roll Over is a way better album. That would be awesome. That would be awesome for Echoes alone, Sean. Echoes alone in the Sphere would be awesome. But yeah, Pompeii is a great show. I do a lot of when I teach lead guitar, I do a lot of stuff on Gilmore because a lot of his minor playing is always on the two minor. You know what I mean? So like the the B is natural as opposed to being flat, and that's kind of like his sound. I haven't heard anything on another Zeppelin thing. I mean, I wouldn't care if there was. I'll never be able to see the original Zeppelin. I'll never be able to see the original Zeppelin when Robert Plant had a voice. I don't really care for his voice anymore. Um, and I almost think it's better they put it to rest. You know, if you watched any of that live Kiss show and Paul Stanley's voice, he would have been better. Who would want to be remembered like that? You know, sometimes I think it's better to hang it up if you can't do it. I mean, like I saw Dio at the end at that Heaven and Hell show, and everything was tuned down a whole step, and it sounded great. So yeah, he couldn't sing to the original keys, but they could sing it lower. Still sounded good. Like they pulled that off. That was great. But if you can't pull it off, I mean, like Whitesnake, David Coverdale can't sing anymore. I also been listening to a lot of Blue Murder because I think John Sykes was a fucking great player and a great writer. My problem with those records are it's just reverb the hell into the 80s, and it's way too much reverb. And if they could go remix those albums and drive them the hell out, they would be they would be some of the greatest albums I think ever. To me, that like if you listen to even the what's the one that starts with the drum? Is it the song Blue Murder? I'm screaming Blue Murder. That drum in the beginning, it sounds like they're in a fucking echoey warehouse. I just hate it. But great. It's as bad as like I hate the White Snake Slip of the Tongue album where they open with Fool for Your Lovin'. Listen to Fool for Your Lovin' with Steve Vai playing it. And not a knock on Steve Vai because the production's terrible. Listen to this Fool for Your Lovin' on Ready and Willing from 1980. That song fucking rocks. Crank it up in your car. You're going to be like, what the hell? This is monstrous. Not all that ridiculous over gain, over reverb. It just sounds great. It's very like foreigner production, which was great. You know, I mean, you could at any time listen to the album Double Vision. Every song stands up today. Great production. Not over, this 80s over reverb stuff of that shit. I just don't like. But you should give Blue Murder a listen. John Sykes' playing is phenomenal. I love him on Thunder and Lightning from Thin Lizzy. That album's great. Tin Lizzy. You like Tin Lizzy? Well, Johnny, they are doing it. It's called like I think it's something 360. Um, I could be wrong on the name, but they have one in L.A. They may have one on the East Coast somewhere. It could be New York or like Atlanta. I can't think of where the other one is, but they're doing that where they're doing these 360 type of places. Look it up. It's in L.A. Is it called something 360? I can't remember. Oh yeah, the Who. The Who's been irrelevant forever, forever. When Entwistle died, you got to give it up. I went back recently, and I can't say too recently, but I went back and listened to Quadrophenia, and I found it. What's the word I'm looking for? Not as great as I initially had thought it was all those years. It's very much like musical theater, and I don't like it. It's yeah. I mean, you go listen to Quadrophenia, then go listen to like Wish You Were Here, just to shine on you crazy diamond, both parts, and it's like that's a masterpiece. And Quadrophenia is like um, it's silly to me. I just find it to be show tunish. Like he's musical theater. I don't think much of Andrew Lloyd Webber, but that's what it reminds me of. Here we're going to play a little bit of every song to give you a hint in the overture. All right. All right. I'm not a big Who fan. Who's next? Great album. Who Are You? Great album. Face Dancers. That's a great album. Everything else I don't like. Who by Numbers has two or three good songs. Quadrophenia has a few good songs. Tommy, forget about it. It's abysmal to me. So gay. Not that there's anything wrong with it. In fact, I'd rather listen to Barry Gibb's anthology than Tommy. I'd rather listen to Barry Manilow than Tommy. How sad is that? And I'm no fan of that's for sure. Mary Modulate. I'd rather listen to Rex Smith singing You Take My Breath Away on repeat than Tommy. I'd rather listen to John Travolta sing I'm Gonna Let Her In than Tommy. You guys getting the sense I love Tommy? Tommy, can you hear me? I can hear you. You can shut the fuck up now. I hear you. I wish I didn't, but I hear you. Yeah, he's a wizard at pinball. Oh, yeah. That's great. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Dark Side of the Moon is somewhat a concept album, and it's great. The Wall I could do without. Operation Mindcrime I could do without. That is the silliest fucking thing. I hate that record. Very awful. You know what's amazing to me is a band like Yes. Close to the Edge is so fucking brilliant. 3 songs, every song is fantastic. Every minute is great. And then you get Tales of Topographic Oceans, where it's twice as long and awful. Everything about it is just terrible. You can tell Bill Bruford made that right choice. Get the hell out. I'm with you. Fish Heads wasn't that by wasn't Billy Mooney from Lost in Space the writer of Fish Heads? Fish Heads, Fish Heads. Oh, I think it was. Was it what was the name of that band? Barnes and Barnes? Right? Was it Barnes and Barnes? I think that was Billy Mooney. I would rather listen to Dr. Smith ranting on Billy Mooney saying, "Silence you ninny," or the robot, whatever the hell he, than listen to Tommy. Great cigar, folks. H. Upman, 1844 in Yeho. Worth every penny. After this, I'm going to eat and relax, and then I have my gig. I only do one meal a day still. Oh, mad. So that'll be good. Today it's bacon, eggs, and I'm making calamari sauteed in butter. Actually, I might make calamari in bacon fat today. Yeah, I'm going to fry it up in bacon fat. It'll be good. It'll be good. Oh yeah, even early Genesis too. You know, like I mean, I love like "Selling England by the Pound." What was that big song on that? Maybe "Dancing with the Moonlit Night." I love that. I love "Watcher of the Skies," but some of their stuff, like I mean, people make a big deal of "First of Fifth," of "Fifth of First," whatever the hell it's called. I don't love it. I don't love it. I think Abacab was a great record all around, and I think the album after Abacab, the eponymous album from 1983, was great. Duke had some good songs, and Duke was very good. That's all right, Sean. I'm going to be out of here myself. This thing's coming to an end, and I got to eat and do some stuff. Great hearing from everybody that showed up here. If you hit a like before you leave, that would be great. And I'm going to get out of here. So, as always, very good. Let me get out of here.